Oh boy! Yes, 680 horsepower and a continuous flow of power will do that to you. This is the McLaren Artura, a plug-in hybrid supercar. And it's an all-new car, so let's take a good look at it right away. The Artura is the company's first series production hybrid, and it's built on McLaren's new carbon lightweight architecture. And with a new electrical and electronic architecture too, there's a new V6 engine, an 8-speed transmission, and of course the plug-in hybrid system. It does look familiar though. I suppose it wouldn't be a McLaren if it didn't. So there's the sharply dipped nose, comma-shaped headlights, and air intakes sunken in just below. There are large air intakes on the side, and the roofline flows into buttress-like blades that merge into a massive single-piece rear deck shrouding the engine bay. It's not see-through, but you can get glimpses of the engine. The new V6 has a 120-degree wide-angle bank, and the turbos are housed inside the V. That's what's called a hot V. And there's a large duct to take away hot air, which McLaren cheekily calls the chimney. At the rear, the exhaust pipes are mounted high up like the 720S, and you can even see the gearbox through the bumper opening. On the whole, it's a very pleasing design, and like any good-looking supercar, has an almost sensual appeal about it. And oh yes, the doors open vertically. Inside, it's straightforward. The steering wheel has no buttons, there's a small center touchscreen, and the all-digital instrument panel has neat and easy-to-reach toggle switches to alter the engine and chassis drive modes. Speaking of which, let's get back onto the road. So what's the acceleration like? Oh boy! Top speed of 330 kilometers per hour, and that's thanks to the new powertrain, which is a really fantastic unit. Coupled to a 96 horsepower electric motor, the V6 engine puts out a combined 680 horsepower and 720 Newton meters of torque. And it all feels so good. Thanks to the electric motor and the twin electrically actuated turbos, there's no lag. Power is instant and constant as you build revs, and it sounds so good too. It's not operatic like a V8, but it's still a delight. Now the handling is just brilliant. This is a McLaren through and through. It may be a hybrid, but it's only about 1,400 kilos, which is no different from the others in the class, so it doesn't feel all that heavy. The steering, that's an electro-hydraulic unit, and the feel is just lovely. It's not pin sharp or quick like some of the others, but boy is there feel and just enough weight. Speaking of weight, let's talk brakes, which at times do need a firm push. But on the whole, they are really nice because despite this being a strong hybrid, the car does not use regenerative braking. And I actually like that, because what that means is stomp on the brakes like this and you know the feel all through. There isn't that odd point when you find the motor and the friction brakes trying to sort of blend. It's just a nice regular old hydraulic braking system. So the Artura is certainly a car you will be tempted to drive around a lot, which you can. All you got to do is move down to comfort mode for both the handling and the powertrain, and things are very pliant and very usable. The steering feels light enough, the engine is nice and tractable, and the ride not bone-jarring. There's even a handy nose lifter which worked very well to get the Artura easily over nearly every speed breaker without scraping its belly. And then there's the electric mode. Yeah, this car has a full electric mode. And when I mean fully electric, I mean fully electric. Even pushing a foot down on the throttle like this will not wake up the engine. And that's pretty handy when you want to drive in EV mode only, but you have to remember that when you want to overtake, you aren't going to find all that amount of power. So while in electric mode, the engine will not wake up. In comfort mode too, it will default to electric only operation when it thinks it can. But should you need more power, there you go. It will wake up the engine and off you go. And that's something I think most owners will do. Just keep going. Because the Artura is just so usable. Some will prefer that wild manic character, aka Italian flair. But with the Artura, it's all about British charm. The car is alluring to look at, it's comfy enough inside, its speed and the manner in which it makes it is enthralling, and it has a graceful poise. So should you get one? If you're lucky enough to be able to think about it, yes, give it very serious thought. And also that 5.1 crore rupee asking price.
टेस्टिंग चालू आहे का?
हाँ
टेस्टिंग चालू आहे?
शूटिंग हाँ
अच्छा, भरपूर गाड्या आहेत पुढे पण. McLaren आहे ना?
मैक्लारन अच्छा लगता है
मतलब इसका कोई जवाब ही नहीं है. देख पीछे से ही फोटो निकाल रहे हैं.
हाँ